So, why does all of this matter? Why bother with personal innovation or micro habits? Again, we are the only part of these systems that we have any control over. And if we want to see a society where systems serve us, then we have to look at the role that we are playing in those systems. And that begins with refining ourselves as ingredients, and micro habits are our first line of dealing with um, what I guess we could best call self sabotage, and making a practice out of um, changing those behaviors. So once we see self sabotaging behaviors, that's the thing that seems, from my observation and working with people over 20 years, is that that's the thing that's hardest for people to change. At the end of the day, why do we want to do this? We want to be able to fulfill our purpose. We want so often people have a calling. They want to live a meaningful life, but they just don't know how to get started with that. Rather than continuing to stay stuck, you find one thing, one area where you can move forward, and over time, what happens is you develop a set of behaviors that help you to build momentum in the direction that you actually want to go. And this approach is all about optimizing flow. Applied aligned action is about taking action that's in flow, so that it doesn't feel that you're always having to push the ball up the hill. It's that is one of the big things that you learn from doing art, is you develop a sense of what being in flow feels like. And that's one of the biggest things that you have to learn. That's a big part of self-regulation, is learning to tune in, understand your emotions, because emotions are information. It's about understanding what that information means in any given context. The new Substack Personal Innovation Hub is really, I guess, the first endeavor that I've made in a long time, to really share the foundation and the roots of the work that I've been doing. And one of the reasons for that was the death, or the passing away, of my friend Ron, who helped me really give birth to all of this with cultural fusion, artist philosophy, almost 20 years ago. And Ron was a great reminder of what happens when we dare to connect in a real way with another person, and what can come out of those collaborations. And now that he's gone, it really brought my attention to the need for me to continue that work, to continue the dream that we believed in, that it is possible for us to create a world that works for all of us. Designing resilience, that is one of my big initiatives. The only thing holding that one back is funding and a community to get behind it. But what I want to invite you to do is to join me in disrupting the predatory pipeline. That is something that all of us can be a part of ending. It is unnecessary suffering. And just some of the data points for here in Riverside County, we have about 300 kids that age out of foster care every year. Every 18 months, 150 of those are going unhoused. 70% of those are victims of human trafficking. And the average age of the first time that someone is trafficked is about 13 to 14 years old. And it's usually during a runaway episode. And one of the big things that I have been thinking about with all the controversy around the Epstein files has been the way that it's normalized when people are abusing children or showing up with somebody underage in a social situation. We can all do our part by not making that normal, by not making that person feel comfortable doing that. But then to look at how do we create a space for these kids in our community so that they know they're not alone, that they're not just prey, that there are people in the community that want to help them thrive. And we can absolutely do that. So, Designing Resilience is an initiative that I'm working on to launch an upcycled, remixed fashion collective, working with these young people to start basically a solution to smart fashion in our region as an economic development driver. So that is something that, if you're interested, I invite you to reach out, connect with me, and let's talk about it. Part of launching the Designing Resilience initiative, we're going to have a kickoff fundraising mixer art reception in San Diego. November the 5th is the date we're working with now. That will be hosted by Upgrade Philanthropy, and I hope that you can join us in San Diego. Join us in the Substack community. Follow me on LinkedIn. Reach out at YvetteDubel.com, and stay tuned for more of the details on that. And oh, there will be a silent auction, so you'll be able to buy the art. It won't just be a show. So thank you so much. I can't wait to see you.